The Stage Lift. It's January 10th, 2008 in Cardiff, Wales. 33-year-old Gareth Jones, a stage technician at the Millennium Centre, is doing his morning safety checks. The stage lift, a huge hydraulic platform used to raise set pieces, has been jamming lately. He bends down underneath to inspect the base. He's focused, unaware that someone else nearby is testing the system controls. A soft mechanical click, then a deep hiss as the hydraulics come alive. The lift suddenly jerks upward, moving faster than he can react. Gareth tries to pull back, but the steel platform rises straight into the ceiling, catching him by the head and neck. The entire weight of the stage, several tons of steel, crushes his skull instantly against the ceiling beam. The sound cuts out, replaced by muffled echoes. Stage workers rush to stop the mechanism, but the pressure keeps the lift locked in place. By the time they lower it, Gareth is motionless, pinned and unrecognizable from the force of impact. Authorities later discovered the safety override system had been disabled, allowing the lift to move while someone was underneath. A design meant to protect performers became a death trap for one of its own crew. Gareth Jones died doing what he did every day, maintaining the show behind the curtain. But one moment of miscommunication turned a theater stage into a scene of pure horror. Burning Porta Potty. 22nd of March 2013 in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. 56-year-old Robert Matthews, a construction worker, steps into a portable toilet at the work site before starting his shift. It's quiet, just the hum of nearby machinery. Moments later, co-workers hear a strange whoosh, followed by a loud pop, like a small explosion. Inside, a buildup of propane gas, leaking from a nearby tank used to heat the portable restrooms, had filled the small space overnight. When Robert flicks his lighter for a cigarette, the air itself ignites. The porta potty erupts in flames, turning into a blue-orange fireball. The door blasts open, plastic melting instantly, flames shooting several feet high. Robert stumbles out, clothes completely on fire, collapsing to the ground as others run to smother the flames. By the time emergency crews arrive, he's burned over 90% of his body. He's airlifted to a burn center but dies hours later from several thermal injuries. Investigators find that propane tanks had been stored too close to the units, and gas had leaked overnight into the enclosed space. One small spark, in a place built for convenience, turned into a sealed coffin of fire. Robert Matthews never made it to work that day because a single cigarette lit the air around him. The Fire Hydrant. It's July 5th, 2007 in Oakland, California. 24-year-old Humberto Hernandez is walking down the sidewalk with his wife, just running errands on a warm summer day. A car speeds down the street. The driver loses control for just a second. The vehicle veers off course and slams into a fire hydrant with a loud crash. The moment it snaps off, a geyser of pressurized water bursts out. The hydrant, made of solid metal and weighing nearly 200 pounds, rockets into the air like a missile, launched by 80 psi of water pressure. In the chaos, Humberto doesn't even see it coming. The hydrant flies straight across the street, spinning end over end, and in a split second it strikes him in the face. The blow is devastating. The force is equivalent to a car crash at over 100 kilometers per hour. It fractures his skull and neck instantly, killing him on impact. The hydrant ricochets down the street, leaving a trail of blood and water in its path. His wife stands frozen, drenched in the spray, unable to process what just happened. Paramedics arrive within minutes, but Humberto is already gone. Investigators later confirm the car's impact angle and water pressure combined to turn the hydrant into a deadly projectile. It was one of the most bizarre and brutal freak accidents ever recorded in the city. A man walking with his wife, and a split second of physics no one could have predicted. One ordinary hydrant created an impossible tragedy. Death by cockfight. In January 30, 2011, in Tulare County, California, 42-year-old Jose Luis Ochoa is setting up an illegal cockfight, an event where roosters are forced to battle each other for gambling money. Handlers strap razor-sharp blades, called gaffs, onto the bird's legs. These blades are curved steel spurs designed to slash opponents open. But in this chaos, one small mistake is all it takes. As Jose bends down to grab a bird, The rooster flails violently, its leg jerking forward. The attached blade slices across Jose's thigh, right where the femoral artery runs. The cut is deep, blood spurts rhythmically with every heartbeat, a telltale sign of an arterial wound. Within seconds, he loses massive amounts of blood. Panicked spectators rush to help, but the location is remote, and by the time paramedics arrive, Jose has already gone into hypovolemic shock. He is pronounced dead on arrival at Delano Regional Medical Center. Police later discover over 50 roosters, multiple fighting rings, and dozens of spectators at the illegal event. The rooster that killed him still had the blade strapped to its leg. Jose Luis Ochoa died from a single self inflicted cut, caused by the weapon he attached himself. It's one of the rarest and most iconic deaths ever recorded, a man killed by his own fighter. The Segway. It's September 26, 2010, in West Yorkshire, England. 62-year-old Jimmy Heselden, a British millionaire and owner of the Segway company, is taking one of his Segway scooters for a quiet morning ride near his estate. The path winds dangerously close to a 30-foot cliff overlooking the river wharf. Jimmy slows down, carefully maneuvering the Segway, but the trail narrows even more near a bend. A hiker approaches from the opposite direction. Trying to make space, Jimmy reverses slightly, steering the Segway toward the outer edge of the path. The Segway's rear wheel slips off the edge, and as he leans back instinctively to correct himself, the accelerator tilts forward, sending both him and the machine tumbling off the cliff. The fall is about 42 feet. Jimmy hits the rocks below, the impact fracturing his skull, ribs, and spine instantly. The Segway lands beside him in the river, still buzzing with power. A passerby finds him minutes later, motionless and face down near the water's edge. Emergency crews rush in, but he's pronounced dead at the scene. Ironically, Jimmy Heselden had bought the Segway company just a year earlier, promoting it as a safe, eco-friendly invention that could never tip over. But on that quiet morning in Yorkshire, a tiny misstep and his own creation sent him over the edge. The man who built the self-balancing machine couldn't keep his own balance. Death by chocolate. It's July 8, 2009 in Camden, New Jersey. 29-year-old Vincent Smith is working at the Cocoa Services Inc. factory, a massive chocolate processing plant that melts and mixes liquid chocolate for big brands. He's standing on a metal platform beside a mixing vat nearly 8 feet deep, filled with thick, molten chocolate heated to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. He's using a paddle to break up solid chunks stuck inside. In one split second, his boot slides on the slick floor, and he loses his balance. He grabs for the edge, but it's too late. Vincent falls straight into the vat, disappearing into the swirling chocolate. The massive rotating mixing blades are still running. The thick liquid pulls him under. Co-workers hear screams and rush to shut off the machine, but by the time they stop it, it's already too late. Emergency crews arrive, draining the vat. When they reach him, he's already dead, his body crushed and burned by the rotating blades and scalding heat. Investigators later confirmed that safety barriers around the vat had been removed for cleaning, and the mixer's automatic shut-off system was disabled. Vincent Smith's death shocked the entire factory. In a place built for sweetness and comfort, one slip turned a chocolate dream into a nightmare of metal and heat.